Y'all remember on Insecure when she was in the hospital or something like that, when Issa was in the hospital and she saw the baby that was a baby between, I can't remember her boyfriend name, her ex-boyfriend, and that lady. hmm Remember how she was like, there's a part in this book that's like that. Okay, so I'm going to tell you about this book. This book is called The Black Wife Effect. Exactly what you think is exactly what it is. So this story starts out with Tamantha. Tamantha is a corporate America girly and she wants to do something that has nothing to do with corporate America because she's tired, but she wants to use the same skills that she used in corporate America to work for her actual bitch business, which is matchmaking. But not just any matchmaking, elite matchmaking, because she works with a lot of high end clients, a lot of high end men, high value men, for lack of a better term. And so, what she decides to do is to create this experience for them because she knows they're busy. She knows that they are at a space in their life where they're like, listen, these are the things I want, these are the things I need to have, and I just need you to find this person, and then we can go from there. So, she has her very first client. His name is Will. Will is a billionaire and he has some, I think he might be on the spectrum, if I recall. And what happens is he needs to find a date because he has told this person, or he knows that there's a business that he wants to work with. It's a black owned hair care business. And so he knows that the person who owns it is really about, it's a young black woman who is all about family. She just had a baby. She works with her husband. She's all about the family dynamics. He has not a family, not a girlfriend, not anything in sight. He has a twin sister who is like his right hand person. The other thing about Will is that because he is on the spectrum, he has trouble with social interactions. So he can be a little bit awkward. And he knows that with what's coming up, what he has to do, his sister won't be able to be there. So he's really looking for somebody to step in. So they meet, they connect, and she thinks that he's there to be given the information about how she can help him find a mate. He's looking at her like, I think you got everything that I need. I don't need anything else. And so she is in the space like, this has to be a joke. Like, who put you up to this? Because no, I am not the person who is going to date. I'm the person here to help you find a date. That's it. That's all. While she's talking to him, she starts to feel a little bit weird. She has an allergic reaction to something in the cafe where they were at to meet. And she decides that she's going to leave. She leaves, she walks out of the cafe, he follows her, and then she has a reaction where she faints. He picks her up, puts her on a plane. She gets up and is like, where am I? You have about 5 seconds to tell me where I am, or I'm going to start throwing hands. So he's like, okay, I'm going to explain. So he explains what he needs, what he wants from her. Then he gives her a contract and is like, listen, if you do this for me within this amount of time, this time frame, for the amount of time I need you for, I will give you X amount of money. So they start to put things in place, but Tamantha, Tamantha likes a little bit. How do I put this? Tamantha loves to read about billionaires who are into the BDSM space, right? So she's intrigued by him, but she also is like, this could be lucrative for my business. So I'm gonna pull in the reins and be professional. He also is like, I like her, but I also don't want to muddy the water. So they both decide to not do that. They both decide to just keep the peace and do what they have to do to make this business work. And when they are there in Paris, he wines and dines her, gets her the best of the best, and they have to come up with a story about how they met and all these things. So they're trying to work this out, figure these things out, and at the same time, he and her are trying not to put their bodies to the test, right? And so there was a moment where they meet this couple. Again, he is there because there's a woman who owns a hair care business who is doing very well, but he wants to come in and like really help her with her business. they go to a dinner, and when they're at the dinner, they see the couple. And the woman is like, "Oh, yes, I remember you, you know." And he's like, "Oh, good. Like, this is my wife." And so she is intrigued because she's like, "Oh, he has a black wife." Again, the black wife effect. And so they start talking, and she starts talking about how she has a son, an infant. And he's like, "Oh, we love kids." Samantha does not like kids at all, especially not infants. So they were like, "Oh, you know, there's some things." Her and her husband were like, "Oh, there's some shows and things we want to go to, but you know, our babysitter, the person who usually stays with us, got sick, so we don't have one." And he's like, "Oh, we can babysit for you." Samantha is looking like, "Who is we?" Because I know we in Paris, but we don't speak French, so who is we? And he's like, "Oh, we got it. Like, we can watch the baby for you." There is a part in this book that is hilarious, hilarious, because of something that the baby does, which is a normal behavior for a infant of that age, and Samantha, who is not with the shits. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but it's hilarious. So from there, they start to have a connection with this couple. They go out to eat, they go to dinner. The husband is a little leery, right? He's looking at them like, something just doesn't feel right, something doesn't seem right. But they put him at ease because they have a connection. So once all of this is going on with them going to dinners, going to this, going to that, there crops up a problem. Will has an ex-employee who tried to come on to him. He didn't accept her advances, so because of that, she decides that she went to work for the rival company and wants to throw shade at every single thing that he does. So they are in Paris, and they get invited to a party by that business owner, and it's a really exclusive party. And so they go. Will is nervous again because he is very socially awkward, and he's like, "I don't know about this." She's like, Samantha's like, "Don't worry, I got you." She dresses him up. And then they go. While Samantha is enjoying herself, you know, they're dancing and everything like that. She goes to the bathroom, and that ex-employee is there. That ex-employee is like, "Hmm, you you're married to Will?" And she's like, "Yeah, like that's my fiance," something like that. She says, and she's like, "Oh, really? Hmm." So she tries to throw shade, and they start a little like, it wasn't an argument, but she starts to tell her some stuff. So Samantha immediately goes like, "Oh, I gotta go." So she grabs his hand. They run out of the space, and she's like, "Yeah, I met an ex-employee, and there's going to be a problem." So he's freaking out, of course, and she's like, "We'll handle it. Don't worry about it. We'll handle it." They do some things together. BDSM is definitely a part of their relationship, but it comes all to a head when the guy, who I say was married to the woman who owns the hair care business, comes to visit them. She knocks on the door. He knocks on the door, excuse me. When he knocks on the door, Samantha answers. Samantha and Will had just gotten into like an argument about something. And so when they got into an argument because she wanted him to come and be upfront with that woman, the woman who owns the hair care business. And he doesn't want to because he's like, "I'm going to lose this business, and I can't lose this business because right now there's a scandal that has happened with their father. And if this comes out that he can't get this business for this company that he has, he won't have a business." So she's like, "I think you should come forward. You know, why didn't you tell me this about your dad?" And he just was like, "Because it wasn't important." So that's what their argument was. So he leaves. When he leaves, the guy, who again is the husband of the woman who owns the hair care business, comes to speak with her or speak with them, but only Samantha is there. So he's like, "I need to speak to you about something." Samantha got on my nerves with this. She blurted out, "I know that we're not married, but you know, we were just doing this." And he's like, "What? Wait, what do you mean you're not married?" And she's like, "Oh, I thought that's why you're coming to talk to me." He was like, "No, I was coming to talk to you about his dad." And then shit hits the fan. So then she's like, "Oh my God, okay." And yeah, so that comes into play. And so the rest of the story is pretty much them backtracking, talking to that couple, explaining why Will made this decision to ask her to be his wife in order to get the business. And it was an interesting conversation. I thought about how Black women come in and just automatically change things and just make it better. That was the real premise of the book, is how she came in and helped him and guided him, Samantha, to be just a little bit more confident in himself, and also to love himself, and then in turn to have that same love for her. So I liked it. I thought it was sweet. It was short. I'm not gonna lie, it was a really short book, but it was nice. I think you would like it. Like, make sure that if you do get it, it's on Kindle Unlimited, and make sure you let me know how you feel about it, what you thought, what you didn't like. I always like to have that dialogue around what you are reading as well. And if you have any books that you think I should read, please let me know that as well in the comments. But please also make sure that you like, subscribe, and comment and share.